All right, so as promised, I'm gonna go over the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books that I bought for myself and the one ARC that I received from the publisher. So let's get into it. All right, so the first few books I'm going to get into are all thrillers. Please don't judge me. I did not take the Target sticker off, but this isn't from Target. You can tell from the little black dot on the top. This is a book outlet book, and this is Nicole Trope. She wrote The Day After the Party. Did someone at the party harm her? What is her husband hiding? Or did Caitlin herself do something terrible? I don't like to go into thrillers knowing much more than that, so I don't want to read any further, but I've heard really good things about this author's work. While I personally have never read anything from Nicole Trope before, I have seen her books recommended, and other readers give her books 5 stars, so I was definitely pleased to see this on Book Outlet and ready to give it a try. So again, The Day After the Party by Nicole Trope. The next book, another thriller I had never heard of, I hadn't heard of this author before either, is Carol Goodman, and this is Writers and Liars. This says, every fiction writer is a liar. Some are even willing to kill for inspiration. So again, short, sweet, let's see, this is, 250 pages. So I am excited to get into this one. The next book I have is... it's romance, general fiction kind of thing. It says, One Island, Two Newspapers, The Reporter Who Played Them Both. And this is by N.D. Gallen, and it's on the same page. I thought this sounded pretty neat. So basically, this woman, Joanna, she comes back home to Martha's Vineyard. She hasn't been back home in years. She left to go to New York City to become a writer. She comes back, her uncle is injured and she needs some money to help take care of the bills and to help him out. So she gets a job as a freelance writer for one of the newspapers in town. Well, she realizes that's not enough money and comes up with this alter ego to write for the rival newspaper. And then it says she gets ensnared in a personal, messy situation when she's assigned to write about the same story for 2 different newspapers. A wealthy seasonal resident who is suing the town for the right to use his private helicopter. And then there's a romance involved. So this is kind of a little bit of catch-all with this, but it sounds really interesting. So I figured I'd give it a try. And the next book, I thought this sounded really neat. Kala Harris, and this is The Ground That Devours Us. And it says, the world ended 10 years ago. Vampires showed up, took over, turned the whole planet into their personal all-you-can-drink buffet. The president, bloodsucker. The government, bloodsuckers. My social life, absolutely non-existent. But hey, at least I had one thing going for me, Slayer training. My twin sister Ripley and I were about to go pro, officially joining the ranks of the last people on Earth who could actually do something about the whole undead overlord situation. Then X showed up, the vampire boogeyman, the worst of the worst. Instead of killing my sister like a decent monster would, he turned her into a vampire. So I don't know. I thought this sounded like it was going to be a good time. You know, is she able to save her sister? Or is she stuck as a vampire? Does she have to slay her? What is going on? I don't even know. YA, so it should be a fast-paced, fun read. I'm excited. Again, like I said, it turns out the end of the world was just the beginning. So again, this is The Ground That Devours Us by Kala Harris. And the last book I got from Book Outlet, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a trial probably close to 10 years ago now, and it involved 2 juveniles that savagely attacked a classmate / friend of theirs in the woods in the name of Slender Man. And so that basically, come to find out, Slender Man was this urban legend, and it was this story that was kind of passed down. And so when I saw Slender Man was a book, I was like, what in the world? So it says, one man's search for the truth about one of the most intriguing urban legends ever, the modern boogeyman, Slender Man. It leads him down a dark, dangerous path in this creepy, supernatural fantasy that will make you question where the line between dark myth and terrifying reality begins. And this has everything from text messages to emails to transcripts from different conversations. So a lot of mixed media in this. I really have no idea what to expect diving into this. Again, I had never even heard of Slender Man until I started watching the news and about the murder trial. And this is published anonymously by Harper Voyager. So yeah, I'm no idea what to expect, but I had never seen this anywhere either. So I figured I'd give it a try. The other books that I have purchased were outside of Book Outlet from various locations. The first one is The Underwild, and this is book 1, River of Spirits. Shana Targos. This is a middle grade. It's thick. It's over 400 pages, but it is a middle grade fantasy about Senka, who lives between the realm of the living and the realm of the undead. It says, my fate is to walk amongst ghosts, but to never become one myself. My name is Senka, and I am a farrier of souls. So again, this looks like Senka on the cover here. But yeah, I no idea what to expect. I've never read a middle grade fantasy. I heard from other people that I know and trust their recommendations that sometimes if they enjoy middle grade, they will check out a middle grade fantasy just to get away from some of the romantasy and the smut, just to have a good story. So again, nothing wrong with smut. Nothing wrong with romantasy, but every once in a while you just kind of want to read something different. So I figured I'd give it a try. No idea what to expect. Don't really have any expectations. Well, give it a try. The other book I am very excited over, and that is Queen of Faces by Petra Lord. And I saw an interview with Petra Lord on one of the morning shows, and I knew I needed to buy this book and support this author. Petra Lord is a biracial trans author. Come on, really? Anything better than that? Let's just show some support here. The narrative here says, she has a BFA in TV writing from NYU, which she uses to recommend TV shows to her parents and predict the endings of movies. So, yeah, again, if you haven't heard of this, it's really interesting. It's basically Annabelle Gage is trapped in a male body and is rotting from the inside out. This takes place in where the magical elite buy and swap designer bodies like clothes. She can't afford to escape her tattered form. She fails the entrance exam to one of the prestigious academies, where she was hoping to be able to get a new body. And so she basically thinks it's over at this point. And then it says, as the clock ticks down to her final breath, she's forced to use her illusion magic to steal a healthy body before her own kills her. So I really excited, and this is really pretty. Again, this, I don't know if you can see the gold foiling on the cover here, and the inside is a map on the end pages. So yeah, like I said, if you haven't heard of Petra Lord, please go to YouTube, find some interviews. Really, really good interview for the morning show, and sold me. I was ready to pick up this book and support this author. So I hope to put this in a reading vlog so I can tell you all about it. So stay tuned for that. The last few books I purchased from the bargain section in Books A Million. If I'm going to spend full price for a book, I'm going to support my local indie bookstore. But you can't beat the bargain sales in the back of Books A Million. So the first book I got is Until Next Summer by Allie Brady. I've read Allie Brady's books before. I want to say it was The Beach Trap. Yeah, The Beach Trap. I really liked. Rom-com, fun, nothing crazy, just an enjoyable, fun summer read. And this says, two former best friends each find love at an adults-only summer camp in this contemporary romance that proves once a camp person, always a camp person. So as someone who was fortunate enough to go to summer camp at least once in my childhood, I figured this sounded so much fun. The next book, I have never heard of this author. The next two books actually are YA thrillers. The first book is called Three Drops of Blood, and this is by Gretchen McNeil. And it says, in this voyeuristic thriller filled with twists and turns, can Kate get anyone to believe she witnessed a murder before she becomes the next victim? So essentially, this Kate, who is the main character in this, she has essentially convinced her parents to let her take a break from high school and go into acting full time. The job of her dreams essentially gets canceled. So instead of having a leading role, now she's forced to go back to school or find a job to prove to her parents she can support herself. So she ends up getting an office job working at night. She looks out the window across the courtyard to another building, and she uses that as entertainment. That's where the voyeuristic comes from. And it says, when Kate sees things heat up between a woman and her assistant, her new source of entertainment takes a turn for the worst when the affair becomes a double homicide. With no bodies, no missing person, Kate can't get anyone to believe her story and decides to track down answers for herself. But as she uncovers new clues about the circumstances leading to the murder, she realizes the mystery woman is more dangerous than she could possibly imagine, and Kate might just be the next target. So again, no idea what to expect. I'm hoping good things, but we'll see. Again, YA thriller, and this is Three Drops of Blood, Gretchen McNeil. And the last book that I purchased is an author I read from earlier this year, Stephen Wallenfels, an YA thriller writer, and Deadfall, I want to say it's Deadfall, was the book that I read from him earlier this year and really liked it. This is his newest, and this was, I'm not sure. It says 2017, so maybe it's not new. I don't know. But either way, I have not read Bad Call before, and it sounded pretty good. And it says, it was supposed to be epic. During a late-night poker game, tennis teammates Colin, Co, Graham, and Rhodey make a pact to go on a camping trip to Yosemite National Park, and poker vows can't be broken. The first sign that they should ditch the plan is when Rhodey backs out. The next is when Co replaces him with Ellie, a girl Graham and Colin have never even heard of. Then there's the forest fire at their intended campsite. But instead of bailing, they decide to take the treacherous Snow Creek Falls Trail to the top of Yosemite Valley. From there, the bad decisions really pile up. A freak snowstorm is threatening. Their Craigslist tent is a piece of junk, and Graham is pretty sure there's a bear on the prowl. And then one of them doesn't make it back to the tent. So it says, desperate to survive while piecing together what happened, the remaining hikers must decide who to trust. I think it sounds really good. So I like the little tagline. It says, this unforgettable psychological thriller reveals how one small mistake can have chilling consequences. So again, this is Bad Call by Stephen Wallenfels. Again, really like the first book by him that I read earlier this year, so we'll give this one a try. And lastly, I received an ARC of book number 4 in the Chance Cormack Legal series, and this is by Richard A. Danzig, and this is Against All Odds. And I really appreciate the author and the PR group for sending me this book. It sounds really interesting. It says, Chance Cormack faces a personal and professional crisis as he loses faith in the law and himself. He abandons his law practice and life in Brooklyn to represent illegally detained immigrants. From the federal courts to the infamous Secot prison in El Salvador, against all odds, Chance struggles to rescue a client who is imprisoned without any hope of escape. Chance must regain his faith in order to save those who need him most and himself. So very timely, immigration lawyer. So yeah, I'm very excited. And this is Richard A. Danzig is the author. And again, this is book 4. I have not read previous works, but this just sounded really good. So I asked for a copy and was very fortunate that I was sent it from the publisher. So those are the 10 books that I bought and the 1 ARC that I received. And my wallet can't do many more of these book hauls, so it may be a while before my next one, but I really want to thank you for watching this one. Please like and subscribe as I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel. So until next time, happy reading. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.